Hey everyone, welcome to our channel, the Tech Intel Pro. So today in this video, we'll be learning what is a variable and what is a data type and how we're using the variables and data type in our C# coding, right? So basically in C#, variables are nothing but the containers, or you can say these are the storage locations inside the memory. When we are creating a variable, at that moment, a storage location creates inside the memory, right? So always each variable has a data type, and each variable is preceded by a data type which determines what kind of data the variable can hold. So there are different variable types. We have decimal type, boolean type, integral type, and floating point types. And also we'll see what are the data types we have, right? So let's understand what are the data types we have. So you can see here, a data type specifies the type of data that a variable can store, such as integer, floating, character, etc. So you can see here a list of data types are listed here. One is integer, long, float, double, bool, char, and string. And each of the data type has a separate range, right? You can see here for integer we have a different range, right? At the right side in the description column, you can see here the ranges are given. For integer is different range, for long some high range is there, float for float little high range is there, right? So these are the data types we have. So let's understand how we can use these variables and data types practically. So you can see here inside the employee class, I have created some data types and variables here, right? You can see the ID, full name, department, salary, all these are the variables I have created. And all these variables are preceded by corresponding data types, right? Integer, string, these all are the data types which defines which type of data or which kind of data the variables can hold. For integer, for int id means the id will hold always the integer values, right? And the public, these are the access modifiers. Later on, we will discuss on these access modifiers, right? Now, so you understood. So these are the integer, string, all these are the data types, and id, full name, all these are the variables. Now let's understand with an example. So I have taken here, you can see here, I have taken, so let me organize this all or comment this out. Okay, so I have taken here different data types and with different variables. So by using this, you can see the first one is the age, right? Integer age. It means I have created a variable age with a data type integer, int, and I have stored a value 25 to this age. And again, I have created another float variable where I have stored 5.9f. So always the float value you should mention like this. Suppose 5.9 or anything, any decimal value with a suffix f. F means it will denote a float number. If you will delete this f, if you will miss this f or suffix f, then the 5.9 will be considered as a double value or double data type. Got it? I think I have already taken double. Yeah. So I have already taken the double as distance. So what is the difference between float and double? Double means the precise floating point, right? Precise floating point. If we'll miss this f suffix, then the decimal value will consider as the double data type. Got it? So likewise, I have created a decimal variable here, that is price, and I have stored some values here, 19.99. This is also considered as a double, but to make it a decimal value, we have to use the caption or the letter or the character as M. Got it? With the decimal value, so that it will consider as a decimal value. So likewise, for creating a bool variable, we have to use the bool data type. Bool means boolean, which will store only the true and false value. That's why I kept here the true. So likewise, to create a character variable, you have to use the keyword as char, char, and the grade. And here I have stored a value, and the character means how you can recognize a alphabet or any number as a character. if it is stored inside a single quote. Okay, so likewise for string value, you have to keep any value inside a double quote, and to create a variable you can use the keyword as a string. And also here I have, you know, just trying to show the values on your or on the console application, right? So here I have used the string interpolation method to show the age, height, distance, price, everything. Now to hold the screen we have to add the console.ready key, so you can see all the values here that we have stored. 25, 5.9, then this is the double value we have, and this is the decimal value, and 2 is the boolean value, and a is the character, right? So this all are the variables we have created by using the data types. Got it? Now let's understand the another data type we have is the composite data type, which covers the array data types and list data types. Now let's understand how we can create a array data type and array object, right? So you can see here, this is the basic syntax of creating a array object by using the array data type. You can see this is the array object and this is the array data type, where I have used the type as integer and I have used the square bracket to make it a array data type. And this is the array object. So inside which by using the assigned value equal to, I have stored the values 1 to 8, right? Which initializes an array of integer type, that is array num. And by using the console.write line, what I am doing here, I am fetching the value of the index 4. That's why I'm using the array object, that is array num, and the fourth index. Got it? So likewise, we can create a list item. So let's see. Also, in array, if you see, instead of integer, we can change it to another data type. Suppose I want to make it a string array. Suppose I want to make the array num as a string data type object. So we can make it a string array. Okay, it means this is a array data type which is of type string. You can see we are getting some error to these values because these all are the integers. That's why we are getting these values, or we are getting these errors. So we can keep these values inside a double quote to make it strings, right? To make it as a string, we have to keep inside the double quote and semicolon. Now the error is gone, right? So likewise, we can create a list item or list object which is of type string. You can see, but we are getting some error here, right? The type of or namespace name list could not found. Okay, so what does this mean? It means, so let me check again the type or namespace. So we are missing the namespace here. It means the list class lies in another namespace, but we are not adding here. We only added here the user defined namespace and the system namespace. So how we can add the namespace? Let me type list directly. You can see here the namespace is showing here, that is system.collections.generic. List is the class which is defined inside the namespace system.collections.generic. So we have to add this namespace inside our C# programming, right? Into our code. So automatically, if we'll click on enter, it will automatically add that namespace. Now you can delete this. Now the error is gone. So by using this basic syntax, that is list, which is of type string, we can create a list object, and by using the new keyword and by using the basic syntax, we can create a list object. Got my point? And then we can store, you can see here is the list data type. So we can store the values which are string values to this list data type, and by using this index we can fetch the value from the list. But here we are getting one error. You can see we have inserted only two values, right, to the array, but we are fetching here the fourth value. How we can get that, right? We have to change it. So we have to, since this is the auto, the size is 2, we cannot fetch the fourth value. So you can see the index 4 is 2 and the index 2 is orange. Now it is working fine, right? So these all are the data types we can use or we are using in C#, right? So that's all about the variables and data types. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video.